it lost all its power. Camera pan slow, dust falling through beams. Shadows thick like leftover streams. I stepped inside, boots echoing soft. Air cold enough to peel a man's thoughts off. Metal swung slight in the ghost warm breeze. Cricket quiet like bones begging please. I laid my hand on the split iron rim. Felt it numb my heart, felt it judge my sin. War took its voice, took half of mine too. Left both of us quiet with nothing to do.
When you stay quiet, boy, silence fits you. I shook my head, hell no, I'm not through. Camera close up, my breath hangs cold. Bell waiting still like a story untold. So I leaned in close, throat scarred the morning, whispered if I could speak, you ain't dead nor gone. Bell shook once like a restless ghost, then rang one note, louder than most. If bells rise for my voice, then voice is my resurrection, my choice. I don't choke quite just to live small. I break the silence till I break the wall. I walk the tower stairs, steps cracked and thin. Dust dancing around me like forgotten kin. Camera tilts upward, moonlight slipping in, drawing silver lines across my skin. At the top I found an old hymn book, pages burned, still holding the look of men who prayed but never stood, hoping God would speak instead of doing what they should. A woman's shadow rose from the broken pew, eyes soft but sharp like she always knew. She asked, you really think one voice can mend? I said, hell, mine's all I got and I won't pretend. She touched my hand, felt the iron chill, said then ring it again, if that's your will. Camera circles slow, dust flickers bright, tower awakening like it caught some light. I cut my palm with a rusted nail, let blood drip down the bell's cracked trail. A vow written red on ancient steel. My voice stays loud, whatever I feel. She whispered, you choosing pain to prove your whole. I smirk, pain don't scare, resurrect this soul. Camera close up, bell glows faint red. I'm awakening like it understood what I said. So I leaned in close with the chest full of flame and roared, I ain't quiet, I ain't ashamed. Bell rang twice like thunder and stone, calling the dead like leading them home. If bells rise for my voice, then voice is my resurrection, my choice. I don't drown truth just to stay tame. I speak in fire, I speak in my name. Yeah, if bells rise for my voice, then voice is my weapon, my outlaw noise. Silence breaks when a man stands tall, not when he hides or tries not to fall. Camera widens, the tower breathes smoke, dust lifting high like chains that broke. I tell the dark with a raw warm grin, break what you want, I'll speak again. A cold, bright truth rings long and violent. Silence only lies if I choose to stay silent. Wide shot, I walk through the ruins of an old frontier town. Dust spinning like lost prayers around busted walls. Right ahead stands a crooked stone tower, leaning so far it looks like one hard breath will finish it off. Stones crumble down the side like rotten teeth, dropping at my boots as if warning me I ain't welcome. But my hands are rough and my conscience rough, for both carry their own cracks. Part of me wants to step back, but the outlaw part, the pod that buried his shame years ago keeps me right there. A whisper inside me says, leave it, it's too broken. But broken ain't what scares me. Pretending I ain't broken, that's the real deal. So I touch the tower and growl. If something falls, I fall with it. If it rises, I rise too. And that falling tower shakes for my claim. Dust rising off its bones like a kingdom breathing again. I don't beg, don't hide, don't blame. I stand in the wreck like a man who knows his sins by name. If towers rise for my claim, then claim is my rebuild. A man ain't made holy till he touches what the world calls ruin and still refuses to yield. Close shot. I brace both hands against the cold stone. It trembles like it remembers wars I never saw, but still carry in my bloodline. A shot cuts my palm, blood crawls into the cracks, turning the touch into a ritual I didn't plan, but damn sure needed. The tower moans, don't shift like they're recognizing someone who ain't scared of wreckage, cause he's been wreckage himself. Ooh, then a voice, not God, not devil, just the towers on memory, echoes low. I help what's already fallen, and I answer brief, steady, cause falling ain't the end for folks like me. And the whole structure shivers, pulling itself upright inch by inch, like it's trying to match the spine. I refuse to bend, I push harder and whisper, break if you must, I still stand. I still stand. And that falling tower straightens for my claim. Stones locking tight like they remember their crown. I didn't flee, didn't flinch, didn't shame. I faced the ruin that looked like me and still stood my ground. If towers rise for my claim, then claim is my rebuild. Greatness ain't the shine, it's the grit of a man who rebuilds in a rubble he killed. Final shot. I walk away with blood on my hands and dust on my coat. The tower tall behind me, like it finally trusts a man who ain't scared of being broken, as long as he ain't scared of standing. As long as he ain't scared of standing. As long as he ain't scared of standing. Wide shot. You walk through an old valley where the wind feels like breath from dead legends. Right there on the ridge lies a stone giant, sprawled out like a god that forgot why it ever stood. Moss clings to his ribs like old sins clinging to your back. Your boots crunch dry gravel, your shadow swallowed by the giant's longer shadow. And though you try not to, your eyes drop to the dirt, like you're scared to awaken something older than faith, older than fear. A voice in your head mutters, don't look at it, but your breath gets heavy cause you know damn well looking down never saved a man. You grit your teeth and growl, this time I choose where I look, and that sleeping giant stirs for your gaze, dust falling like old crowns losing for your gaze, then gaze is your throne. A man finds his size, the moment stands in front of something bigger than bone. Close shot, your boots stop inches from its massive hand. Cracked stone veins running like scars left by centuries of wars. The air thickens, heavy enough to choke lesser men. Something ancient rumbles under the rock. Maybe spirit, maybe memory, maybe just a judgment of a titan waiting to see whether you're dust or defiance. You lift your head slow, let your eyes lock on to its empty stone sockets. Your breath steady, your spine straight like a damn sermon carved in flesh. Then the voice, not human, not divine, knows from the stone, why do you stand? And you answer quiet but sharp, 'cause kneeling ain't how I live. A ritual happens without you planning it. You press your palm against the giant's cold chest, accepting every sin and scar that made you. The stone warms just a little, but enough to show the giant heard you. Then the whole ridge trembles like it's bowing to your backbone. You breathe once, slow and calm. I ain't looking away. And there's sleeping giant stars for your gaze, lifting dust clouds like banners torn from heaven's door. You didn't bleed, didn't crawl, didn't shrink. You stared straight through the cursed war. If giants stir for your gaze, then gaze is your throne. The world ain't ruled by the biggest thing in it, just the one that refuses to be overthrown. Final shot. You walk past the giant, its head turning ever so slightly, like a king acknowledging another king. And the land around you breathes like it finally believes in what you carry.
Camera drifts along a river thick as ink, curling slow through a valley burned out by old sins. Water looked dead, black enough to hide every live man never buried in it. He walked down the bank, boots sinking in the wet clay, hat pulled low, breath fogging like a man holding back storms inside his chest. When he stepped in, the river grabbed him, cold fingers clutching his ribs like a preacher dragging a sinner to truth. The current whispered, soft but cruel, you belong down here. His hand shook, but not from fear, from rage he had carried too long. He muttered through his teeth, I ain't drowning for nobody. And that black river, a clear for his rise, dark water pulling back like it knew his name. He didn't beg, didn't break, didn't fold. He pushed through the choke like a man done losing shame. Yeah, river's clear for his rise, and rises his breath.
dripping truth, owning every scar that tried to drag him under. Camera cuts to a close shot, his fingers trembling over the river surface, stained with mud and no regrets. Something inside the water hiss, maybe spirits, maybe memory, maybe just the echo of the man he used to be. He heard a voice behind him, could have been God, a demon, or his own damn shadow. Turn back, you ain't built to cross this. He didn't even look. Crossing ain't something you're built for, it's something you choose. The water around him lighten, black turning to gray, gray turning to clear, like it was coughing out generations of sin. A small ritual happened without drama. He dipped 2 fingers in the clean water and wiped it across his chest. Not to be holy, but to admit he finally knew what he carried. The river tugged one last time, testing his spine. He said quietly, try harder. And that black river cleared for his rise, splitting open like judgment making way. He didn't kneel, didn't plead, didn't quit. He walked through the curse like a man born of clay. If rivers clear for his rise, then rises his breath. The current owns the weak, but it bows for the ones who walk through death. Watch out, him climbing the bank. The river behind him calm as truth finally spoken. He didn't survive to be safe. He survived to prove the river was wrong about him. Ground split open in front of me, cracks running like old scars that never learned faith. Red seeped up through the dirt, thick, warm, angry, like the earth was bleeding every sin I tried to bury. Camera pulls down on my boots, leather torn, dust caked, tied with stubbornness instead of laces. I took one step and the ground shuddered under me, crying like a wounded thing that didn't trust my way. There was a taste of iron in the wind. My guilt of the world's hard to tell the difference anymore. The road hissed at me, blood bubbles breaking along the cracks, like it wanted me to turn back. I muttered, I ain't here for your permission. And the wounds closed quiet for my will. Earth breathing calm where it once spilled. I didn't bend, didn't beg, didn't break. I walked like a sinner only hell could make. If wounds closed for my will, then will is my path. A man ain't healed by the things behind him. He's healed by the steps he dares to cast. Blood pulled back from my boots, like even the pain knew. Yeah, I wasn't there at home. Camera circles wide, the horizon shaking, air shimmering like hot breath from a buried god. I knelt down by a crack still open, dipped 2 fingers in the red earth and traced a mark across my chest. Not a prayer, not a curse, but a reminder. Pain's just another language I learned too young. The road kept trembling in a voice not loud but deep as old stone. I rose up from the dirt, turned back, you're still breakable. I spit into the crack, ain't breaking, just walking. Camera tightens, the cracks sealed shut like the world finally believed me. The ground grown once more, soft, almost respectful. I whisper back, hurt don't scare me, stop and does. And the wounds close clean for my will. Dust lifting gentle where blood stood still. I didn't fall, didn't feed, didn't fall. I moved like a man who's outrun it all. If wounds close for my will, then will is my path. Cut through the fire, walk through the wrath. Watch out the horror breathing, healing under my stride. Like the world ain't fighting me anymore, just checking if I'm strong enough to lead it. And a man who don't fear his pain walks farther than the man who hides it. Out in a dead stretch of desert dusk, the camera drifts low over dunes burned gray by old storms. A pair of iron wings lay buried in the sand, rusted heavy, punished by 100 years of sun. He walked up slow, dust clinging to him like old guilt that wouldn't let go. When they pulled the wings out, metal groan, a deep broken growl like a chain beast waking wrong. Wind cut across the scene, carrying the smell of blood, warm earth, and the memory of things he never said out loud. The wings trembled in his hands as if warning him, you ain't built to rise. Just smirked. I've heard worse. And those iron wings lifted for his refusal, dust falling off like sins losing their claim. He didn't pray, didn't bow, didn't break. He strapped them on like a man who'd outrun shame. If wings rise for his refusal, the ground don't own a man who's done being owned by his life. He rose slow but higher than any man who begged to be laid. Camera pans behind him as he tightens the old leather harness across his shoulders. Skin scarred from burdens he carried wrong for too long. twitched again, metal shards twitching like nervous feathers. He muttered to nobody, maybe a ghost, maybe himself. If I fall honest, that's more than I ever had. A shadow moved across the desert, some old regret, some old lover. Hard to tell where faith ends and wounds begin. A voice low, cold, familiar, rose with the wind from behind him. Stay down, you ain't earned the sky. He didn't turn, sky ain't something you earn it. Something you take, the wings snapped open, rust flying like sparks off a forge.
Ground shook beneath them as if trying to keep what it owns.
He whispered, you had your chance. And those iron wings lifted for his refusal, the kind of rise that makes heaven jealous. He didn't flinch, didn't fold, didn't fade. He climbed like a sinner who finally loved his edges. If wings rise for his refusal,
Then refusal is his flight.
the earth only drags down men who ain't brave enough to leave the fight. Wide shot, the whole desert below him, quiet and afraid, watching a man he could no longer hold. He wasn't flying to escape, he was flying to prove he never needed the ground. And the ground.
I found that stone serpent curling round her, cracked old pillar eyes carved hollow like they still remember every sin I tried to outrun. Camera slides in close, dust floating in a crooked shaft of light, heat trembling off the ground like breath from some buried beast. I stepped closer, boots scuffing dry sanding for a heartbeat. That cold damn statue felt more alive than I'd ever been. Something in me knew that curse weren't carved for the stone, it was carved for the man stupid enough to face it. His jaw twitched once like it wanted to speak my fate out loud. I said under my breath, go on then, say it. But the curse broke quiet for my defiance. Dust rising soft like some dead truth dying. I didn't bow, didn't blink, didn't bleed. Stood eye to eye with the devil's creed. If curses break for my defiance, then defiance is my shield. Ain't no spell can claim a man who refuses to yield. The serpent froze, every whisper of fate I owed crumbled at my heel. Camera pans low around my boots, circles of old ash dried blood, and prayer beads rotted from storms long gone. Ritual moment, I cut my palm on the serpent's chipped fang, let one drop fall, not to feed the curse, but to mark the end of being scared of the damn thing. Smoke rose from the wound like memory burning, the serpent shifted again. Stone muscles trying to tighten around my past. I leaned in close and told the thing I used to fear, you ain't something I run from, you're something I am. Camera shake, the serpent cracks down the spine, turning to dust like an old lie. Finally told the truth, a voice inside the stone hissed, You can't leave what cursed you. I answered soft, steady, watch me. And the curse broke clean for my defiance. The storm sweeping off in quiet alliance. I didn't kneel, didn't fold, didn't fade. I stood like a man whose shadow ain't afraid. If curses break for my defiance, then defiance is my shield. Stronger than iron, truer than any battlefield. Wide shot, I walk past that falling stone, sand glitting on my blood and bone. Realize some chains don't snap by force, they die when the soul won't carry them no more. And a man who won't fear his past ain't a man curses can hold.
You walked into a forest, burned to bone. Tree trunks standing like red hot ribs of some dead giant. Ash fell slow around your boot seat. Steps sounding like a man dragging his past behind him. Camera pans wide, the whole place bent inward, like it was waiting to swallow you whole. And you felt it too. He crawling up your spine, whispering no word. Walks out, won't stay walking, but you kept on, jaw tied, shoulders squared. Like fate ain't something you beg from, it's something you take from a world that never meant to give. A slit of fire snapped across the path, hissing like a devil smiling. Turn back, boy. You wiped sweat off your chin, muttered, make me. And the flames split open for your step, crackling wide like they knew you're dead. You didn't bow, didn't break, didn't beg. You walked straight through hell with a storm in your legs. If flames part for your step, then step is your storm. Your outlaw truth taking a brand new form. All that fire backed up slow, making room for the man who refuses no. Camera tracks behind you, branches twisted black like hands that tried to hold you still. He licked your back, but fear never reached your heels. Ritual moment, you scooped a fist of air straight across your face like war paint. A mark saying you ain't running from what burned you. You're walking through it, claiming the damn flames is kin inside your lungs. A growl rose deep. If I turn back now, it'll be the last lie I ever tell. And the forest heard it, the trees leaned away, the fire bent low, like a beast learning your name. A voice rose from the smoke itself. Ain't you scared of dying here? You didn't even slow down, already died. Once this time I'm waking up. Camera swings upward, the burning canopy parts like curtains pulled by invisible hands. Sparks flying off you like a crown silhouette. Hell itself rolled back, making way for a soul too stubborn to crack. If flames part right for your step, then step is your storm. Your eyes reborn in a world still torn. You didn't pray, didn't plead, didn't bend. You forced the fire to call you friend. Wide shot. Out of that forest slow, burned earth glowing under your shadow. The world realizing a man who won't turn back is a man even flames bow low before. Cause nature don't conquer the brave, it clears the road for 'em. Lakes split wide for your steps, sparks flying off you like a crown silhouette. Hell itself rolled back, making way for a soul too stubborn to crack. If they split wide for your step, through a graveyard path. Marble-stones leaning like old men lost to time. Sky stuck in a gray that ain't day or night. Clouds hang heavy like guilt that ain't mine. I kept staring at my busted boots, mud dried on them like since I ain't out one yet. Camera pans down, my shadow shivers on the slab, looking like it wants to forget. A crooked cross stuck halfway in dirt, spark when I brush it with my knee. Feel like the dead were holding breath, waiting to see if I'd fold or if I'd let them see me. Oh, a cold voice crawled up behind me. Keep your head down, boy. I raised my chin, slow jaw said, not anymore. And the silent choir woke up singing, 100 graves humming like the earth was breathing. I felt the ground rise under me as if the dead themselves believed in what I become. If graves sing for my lifting, left is my life, a hard one light cut through a sinner's night. Ain't bound to the weight I carried, ain't letting fear keep my voice buried. The choir rose 'cause I did, not 'cause I prayed, but 'cause I lived. Camera sweeps wide, names carved deep on stone, glow faint like souls leaning near. I walk between them like a man judged twice, one sentence written in dust, one written in fear. Ritual moment, I laid my hand on the coldest grave, cut my palm on the chipped off edge, blood dripped down like a newborn vow, red light waking the choir from his deathbed. Inside me something opened slow, not grace, not peace, but a sharpened will. A voice rose from my ribs and said, if you don't rise now, boy, nothing ever will. A shadow stepped out from a cracked headstone, ain't you scared of who's watching? I stared straight through it, steady as fire. Let them watch me rise, the camera lifts overhead. The whole graveyard shifts like it's making room for a man done hiding from his own doom. And the silent choir woke up singing, turning sorrow into drums of reckoning. Every tombstone hummed my name like they knew I wasn't built to crawl again. If graves sing for my lifting, left is my life, my outlaw truth carved out a fight. I walk with my head up now, 'cause the dead taught me how not to beg, not to kneel, but to rise till the world feels real, real. Balls its stones to the man who finally faced his own bones. 'Cause the dead don't want you broken, they want you unafraid. Camera moves at my dumb lake, a drowned old lanterns half buried in the mire. Glass crack, wig drowned like a throat that lost its fire. I wade in slow, grabbing my boots like past mistakes. The black water whispering every sin a man makes. I reach down anyway, fingers cut by rust, the metal colder than a promise turned to dust. It lives heavy, dripping demon blood, shine like it crawled out the grave at the same damn time. The swamp hisses, boy, you're meant to drown. I spit back, not me, not now. Camera zoom on my torch on Dan de la Cour sunlight. I said I'm still breathing, so you burn too. And that dead lantern sparked like it wanted to prove
the mire. I walk through that swamp with a blazing hand, light crawling up my arm like it knows who I am. Camera tracking behind, looking through where I shake the mud loose. Dirty water running red when my cuts start to show, looking like the swamp tried to mark me before I go. I take my knife, carve a tiny line across my thumb. Let blood kiss the wick, a deal between the sinner and whatever he's become. The lantern answers with a soft gold tremble like a wounded soul. Remembrance still assembled, I whisper to it, rise if you can, I'll rise either way. And the flame jumps higher like it's begging me to stay. The wind asks, why, but once you gone? I grin cause drowning ain't how my story's strong. I stand tall on mud falling like sins I washed off slow. Each drop hitting the swamp like a bell saying no. I said if I'm standing, then I'm burning, that's the deal. And the lantern roared back, bright enough to feel. And lit the whole swamp like judgment on parade, showing every ghost I made and every ghost I ain't afraid. If lantern burn for my breath, then breath is my flame, my dirt-born resurrection without shame. Camera wide shot.
I walk out the black water, dripping fire on the ground.
And the swamp bows quiet, cause I refuse to drown.
Light trails behind me like a truth I finally own.
Not holy, not clean, but alive and burning on my own. I said I'm still breathing, so you burn too. And that dead lantern sparked like it wanted to prove. I don't bless a man who lets himself fall. It rises for the bastard who still stands tall. Lantern for my breath, who still stands tall. Out on an old dead battlefield, shield split open, dirt turned black, smoke hanging low. A busted suit of armor lay there, cracked like a promise someone broke. He walked up slow, boots sinking in ash like he's stepping on memories that never learned to die. Sun cut through the dust, making the steel flicker like a ghost. Last try. He touched the shoulder plate, a little groan of metal, same sound a man makes when life snaps his spine. The armor shook, cracked deeper, like it wanted to see if he'd ruin as his own design. The wind whispered up, you break just like it did. He smirked, I steady on the torn sky, let it all still stand. He pulled that broken armor on, cracks spreading like truth at dawn, but he never bowed, not once, not ever. And that old steel tightened round him like he finally found a man who won't surrender. If armor seals for his courage, then courage is his skin, a second hide carved out of every sin. He walked through ruins with the chest plate gleaming, storm clouds shifting like they knew his meaning.
digs up the past, trying to climb his back again. Ritual moment, he pressed 2 fingers to the biggest crack. Let old blood drip down into the seam. A blood oath whispered in pain. The armor answered with a metal clinch, as if it finally recognized his claim. Inside his chest the thought rose slow and mean. Strength ain't something you wait for, it's something you stand for. A dead soldier's shadow stepped from the dust. Ain't you scared of falling, boy? He kept walking, didn't blink. If I was, I'd be someone else. The camera widens, the whole horizon seems to lean out of his way. He wore that shadow armor proud, let the cracks burn bright like a truth spoke loud when he said, break if you want, I won't. Steel pulled tighter, heavy as judgment, light as hope. If armor seals for his courage, then courage is his skin, his outlaw scripture carved within. Watch out, he steps across the ruined field. Sun split open the clouds and crowned his steel, like heaven blessing a man who never begged for it. And the ground beneath him whisper low and sure. The one who stands is the one who deserves the armor. Bust a halo lying face down in the mud. Bent like a lie, someone whispered in my blood. The church room's wrong behind me, ash floating like great confession smoke. And I ain't prayed here in years, 'cause every prayer I made came back broke. I kneel anyway, boots cracking, burned tile. My shadow stretching long like a sinner on trial. I see myself warped in the den of rain, looking like a man who forgot what he used to bring. When said, boy, shame fits you fine, I whisper back, that voice ain't mine. Camera zoom out tight or run, yeah. Confessor, my love, look to a quick ahead. I said I ain't perfect, but I ain't bout. And that dead halo shiver like it hurt me loud. Shame only owns the man who kneel, but it dies when you stand and show what's real. If halos rise for my honesty, then honesty's my light, my rough cut outlaw rosary in the night. I walk through the ashes like they owe me truth, and the broken glow follows every step like proof. Camera tracking sideways, I lift that halo cold as unspoken sin. Like every wrong I did pressed tight on my skin. My reflection flickers in his bent gold frame, Showing the boy I used to be, the one swallowed by blame.
I drag a thumb across my chest, cut a thin red line, mix some blood with the soot till the wound looks like a sign. I say to the halo glower, don't I walk the same, and for the first damn time it ain't me that's a shame. Camera tilted up with a soft ghost, white shimmer climbs the ring like a soul waking up from a sin it didn't mean to bring.
The night as you show your worth that shine, I laugh worth the night, the choice is mine. I ain't running from the dirt I made, I'll wear it, own it, walk through it unafraid. I said I won't kneel, not for shame, not for ghosts, and the halo rose slow like it knew me most. It floated above me, crooked but bright, a wounded little son learning how to fight. If halos rise for my honesty, then honesty's my flame, my cold redemption carved out of blame. I walk out the ruins with the ring over me, and the dark steps back, cause I finally let myself see. Camera wide-shot ashes swirling like tide, angels taking flight, and the halo follows, not because I'm holy, but because I finally told the truth right. I said I won't kneel, not for shame, not for ghosts, and the halo rose slow like it knew me most. It floated above me, crooked but bright, a wounded little son learning how to fight. If halos rise for my honesty, then honesty's my flame, my cold redemption carved out of blame. I walk out the ruins with the ring over me, and the dark steps back, cause I finally let myself see. You're standing on a wind-cut hill, boots buried in black grass, sky gray as gunmetal, breath fogging like a sinner's last. A blind wolf waits there, eyes milk white, frozen still, looking at you without looking, like it already knows you will. Its ribs rise slow like a broken church gate, its crowd scrapes the dirt like it knows your fate. Every fear you bury starts scratching from below, asking if you're the man you pretend to show. But you don't shift, you don't blink, you stand like a stone that refuses to sink. Wind whispers, boy, run while you can, you spit back, ain't running from beast or man. Feels like fighting addiction with outlaw defiance but dies. Strong side, chain push, focus saturation, short verb and verse, long haul and chorus. Send on board again passes, no blue swing, modern outlaw, rack with electrula gadget. Fear only hurts the hearts that shake, but it kneels for the ones who refuse to break. If beasts bow for your stillness, then stillness is your crown, your cold outlaw witness. You walk through the shadow it made for you, and even darkness steps aside for what's true. Camera tracking from the side, you brush past the wolf feet dragging dirt and ghost dust, while your past snarls behind you, hunger, guilt, rust. You touch the scar on your ribs, a reminder of the nights you lived through lies and fibs. It burns warm, then cold, like a half-told story still trying to grow old. A ritual moment, you kneel, grab a fist of dead leaves, mix it with your blood from a cracked open sleeve. You draw a mark on your throat, slow and deep. A vow to what you face now, you choose to keep. Camera shift, the wolf sits behind you like a witness carved from bone, as if even a blind beast knows you walk alone. The wind tries speaking, but you silence it with breath. Stepping forward like a man who ain't afraid of death. You don't pray for mercy, you don't beg for grace. You walk like you finally faced your face. You said, I'm done, run, hear me clear. And the blind wolf bowed like it felt no fear. Yet a road ahead opened wide and gray, as if the world trusted you to lead the way. If bees bow for your stillness, then stillness is your crown. Your name carved deep in this cursed ground. No man owns fear. You walk through it slow, and the beast steps back, 'cause you finally said no. Camera, watch out. You disappear into the storm's black skin, and the wolf watches as if knowing you already won from within. Walk through what used to be a church. Roof burned out, walls black with hurt. Camera pans wide, ash falling like gray rain. Old hymn scraps blown round like ghosts in pain. A broken cross left buried in soot, split down the spine like a judgmental root. He knelt slow, boots grinding cold, dog dirt. Hands scarred deep from things that still hurt. When he lifted it up, wood turned cold, rejecting his touch like it knew what he sold. Some sins cling longer than the scars they make. Some fade back, don't quite break. When whispered, you ain't worthy, boy. He spat, worth ain't something you can destroy. Jammer closed, his jaw clenched tight, eyes burning low like embers fighting night. He said, fate don't owe me a damn thing, but I'm standing anyway. Let the darkness swing. Flits off like a newborn breath, a glow too stubborn to be killed by death. If crosses glow for his stand, then stand is his salvation, not God's hand. He don't beg heaven and he don't fear hell. He holds his ground and breaks his own spell. Camera tilts, he walks through Charpew rows. Ash cling to his gold, follow where he goes. An old Bible eyes open, pages warped by flame, words half gone, still whisper his name. A shadow moved, maybe memory, maybe ghost, but it stood where the light had died the most. It asked, you still think faith wants you, son? He answered, I ain't asking, I'm just not done. He cut his thumb on the cross's jagged seam. Blood ran down like a vow made clean. He pressed it red onto the fractured wood, a ritual he never learned, but somehow understood. Camera close up, glow spreads thin, like the cross was breathing through his sin. He whispered, break me if you must, But faith ain't faith if it comes from dust. The shadow faded into smoke and air, leaving him alone, but he liked it there. He said, faith don't need to bless my name. I'm standing here all the same. Crosslit bright in his trembling hand, like dawn rising out of burned down land. If crosses glow for his stand, then stand is his salvation, not some promised land. He ain't bowing, he ain't breaking apart. He's carrying faith like a wound in his heart. Yeah, if crosses glow for his stand, then stand is the king he never planned. Camera widens, fire dies slow, but he walks on with that holy glow. A cold hard truth settles in the smoke-laced air. Faith ain't a place, it's the spine you choose to bear.